First, I want to make it clear that for all these recipes we're going to use rolled oats. And we'll cook them. There's no overnight soaking. These are all dishes that you can prepare and serve in less than 20 minutes and come to a pretty low price per portion. To start off, let's make my go-to recipe, which is the miso sesame infused oatmeal. The main flavor comes from white miso paste. You can use other types of miso, but I like this one as it's not too overpowering in flavor. Then we'll use soy sauce to salt it and some sesame oil for its nice toasted sesame flavor. We'll also add some bacon bits and scallions to it. The prep work is super easy. Chop the white part of the scallion and cut the green part at an angle for presentation purposes. I removed the rind of my bacon, but you can leave it in if it doesn't mind you. Chop it into tiny pieces and that's it. Prep work done. Grab your oats and let's move to the stove. Take a medium-sized saucepan and start it on low heat. Add the 50 grams of bacon and cook it on low heat to get it crispy. When crispy, take it out while trying to keep the oil in the pot. All that delicious bacon flavor stuck on the pot needs to be deglazed, so add the scallions plus an additional teaspoon of oil, but you might not have to add any if your bacon rendered out more fat. To deglaze I used sake that I had opened in the fridge, but white wine works too. Not much is needed, about 2 splashes should be enough to deglaze. And apparently also enough to trigger my smoke alarm. We're back. As you can see, the scallions and sake did a great job to deglaze the pan. So add 100 grams of oats and toast them for about 1 minute. You'll start to smell a nice nutty aroma. That's how you know they're ready. We'll use 400 milliliters of water and add about half of it now. And the process from here on out is really easy. Stir and then let it cook down. Then stir again and let it cook down again. We'll do this for a total of 10 minutes and about halfway through you'll add the remaining water as you see it getting drier. Then again, stir and let it cook down until it looks like this. You can also add more water and let it get soupier if that's what you like. I personally prefer this risotto-like texture. Take it off the flame and add to it 1 tablespoon of miso paste, 1 teaspoon of soy sauce, and 1 teaspoon of sesame oil. Stir to combine and right at the end add a bit of the green parts of the scallion. To plate, add the miso oats and top it with crispy bacon bits, followed by the scallions and some white sesame seeds. And this clocks in at just 369 calories and 70 grams of protein. And with a price of just $1 per portion, it's a bargain. You can sub the bacon for mushrooms and move the price even lower, especially since the bacon is about 40% of the price. Now, let's move on to the kimchi oatmeal. Kimchi is of course the star ingredient. Use one as sour and aged as you can find it. Then some gochujang, a scallion and an optional egg to add fried on top. And the last ingredient is spam, which can be subbed for chicken for more protein. Dice it in small pieces, we'll use about 40 grams per portion. Then separate the kimchi from its juice if needed, but maybe use a larger sieve than mine. And keep the kimchi juice, as we'll use it in the cooking. To start, add the spam pieces in the pan, plus a bit of oil to help with the heat transfer. Cook it for about 4 minutes or until they turn crispy. Remove them and keep the oil in the pan, to which we'll add the kimchi and the scallions. This will activate the flavors in the kimchi, as well as deglaze the pan of all the delicious crispy bits left from the spam. Add a bit of oil and then the oats. Toast them for about 1 minute and then add 200 milliliters of water. And you know the drill. Stir, let it cook down, then repeat for a total of 10 minutes. And at the halfway point add another 200 milliliters of water. And repeat the process until it's almost done. At this point I like to add the kimchi juice. Stir to combine and taste for seasoning. I added just 2 pinches of salt. Add some of the green scallion parts and we're ready to plate. Place it in a bowl, followed by the crispy spam bits, scallions, and that's it. This comes in at just shy of 400 calories and a cost of $1.77 per portion. Now, you probably have noticed that there's 2 key ingredients that I forgot to add, which are the gochujang and the fried egg on top. But have no worries. Stick around for a bit and later in the video I'll show you how to reheat these oatmeal dishes, and that's when we'll complete this dish. But before that, let's go over the last one on our list, which is also the easiest one to make, the Pesto-Parmesan Oatmeal. All we need for this one is green pesto, Parmesan cheese and some sun-dried tomatoes. The prep is as easy as it gets. Just grate 40 grams of Parmesan cheese in a bowl and we're back at the stove. This time we'll start by adding the oats directly in the pan. Same quantity, 100 grams, followed by 1 tablespoon of peanut oil. Toast them on medium heat for about 2 minutes, or until you can smell that nice nutty smell of the oats. This time we're going to use chicken stock for the water base, but same quantity, 400 milliliters added in 2 parts. And next, as you should know by now, for 10 minutes you must stir, let it cook down, then add the remaining liquid at the halfway point. But this time we're gonna stop it 1 minute early so that it has a little bit more liquid in it. Turn off the flame and add about 80% of the grated Parmesan cheese. The end result resembles the texture of a well-cooked risotto. Place it in a bowl and top it with 2 heaping teaspoons of pesto, and then the sun-dried tomatoes. A food tweezer is not required, it's just me trying to make it look good for the thumbnail. Sprinkle on top the parmesan you reserved, and there you have it. This comes in at 446 calories and a cost of about $2.1, which is amazing for something that is so easy to make. Now, before I show you how to reheat them, let's do a quick taste test. Starting with the Pesto-Parmesan Oatmeal. It has a very nice glossy finish from the oil in the pesto, a very rich texture, almost resembling risotto. The tomatoes bring some tanginess to the dish, which balances it nicely. Next, for the kimchi oatmeal, keep in mind that these have been sitting for a while as I cook the others, so they're a bit firmer in texture. But you forget all about that as soon as you taste it. I don't know what it is, but cooked kimchi is just something else, especially once you combine it with the crispy and saltiness of the spam bits. Lastly, for the miso oatmeal, again, it's been sitting for a bit, so the texture is different than the optimal serving one, which you saw when I was plating it. When it comes to taste, there's a reason I keep coming back to this dish. It's chock full of umami flavor, there's that subtle taste of sesame oil which goes so well with the bacon bits and the scallions. Now, as you just saw, the texture changes drastically once they cool down. Let me show you how to reheat and bring them back to life. This is the next day and I'm using the kimchi oatmeal. Place it in a pan, non-stick will make your life easier. Spread it evenly and then add about 2 tablespoons of water. Place it on the burner and, you guessed it, stir and cook down. But this time we'll stir a bit more frequently, to make sure that the water gets evenly absorbed by the oatmeal. Now that it's heated through and the water has been absorbed, we can add the missing ingredient, half a teaspoon of gochujang per portion. Stir to get it combined and then transfer to the preferred serving plate. Top it with a crispy fried egg, scallions and sesame seeds. Thanks for tuning in, like this video, consider subscribing and I'll see you next time. Bye!